You know, the story of Grand Rapids Black Sox. It's a big part of West Michigan's baseball history, particularly within the context of the Negro Leagues. Now, the stories of Ted Raspberry and Minnie Forbes unveil the vital role the league played during a time of segregation and its lasting impact on the community. Now, if this is all news to you, like a lot of it was to me, you're in luck. There's a special game, a night game scheduled that you might want to check out. We've got Nate Phillips here from the Whitecaps, along with Cole Williams. He's the founder and executive director of the Delta Project, who this is all going to help out. Thanks for being here, gentlemen. Appreciate
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Nate, it's a game honoring the legacy of the Grand Rapids Black Sox, which I knew very little of. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's something where, again, a lot of people are learning about the rich history of where baseball comes from, right? And, it started here in Grand Rapids in the 50s when a guy named Ted Raspberry brought the Grand Rapids Black Sox to town. He knew that there was a great way to be able to get community involved with this baseball team, and he just loved baseball, just in general. So it was great to see him getting a team assembled and all those sorts of things, but he also had a legacy beyond that where he actually was the first person to start a youth baseball league here in the city as well that is still functioning today. It's called the Ted Raspberry Youth League. It's ran out of the YMCA, and it helps over 500 baseball and softball players every year play for free throughout the summer. So his legacy still lives on, and was just an incredible guy within the community itself.
That's amazing. I had no idea. I love this because it has baseball and I'm learning new history, so I'm completely geeking out right now. Cole, talk about a little bit about how did this partnership, how did the Delta Project get involved here?
Well, I would say it's very organic. Nate came in and shared the experience and the history of the legacy, and I got to thinking to myself as he was unpacking Ted Raspberry's legacy, and just thinking about discrimination and the impact during those times in 1965. And I got to thinking about the children that we serve at the Delta Project. And we think about the disparities, the biases that still are institutionally baked into their experiences as they're navigating our juvenile justice system. It made sense, and it just hit the heart for us as an organization to partner along Nate and the White Sox.
And so the mission here really is more than just entertaining people. Well, we're
Yes.
really looking to educate people.
Absolutely.
Right.
Part of that education is just making sure that people are aware of the legacy and history of Ted Raspberry, but most importantly, what's still happening in our communities when it comes to our kids. And when we think about kids that we're talking about children, and children in Grand Rapids.
So, Nate, obviously this is going to be a powerful evening, a very informative and educational evening. There's also a game.
Yes.
Let's talk baseball. What can fans expect when they come out?
Yeah, it's a game where we set it up for, just being a celebration, right? Again, there's a big learning component with this as well, but fans can expect a lot of different things this year. So we're actually partnering with a production company. They came up with a documentary a handful of years ago. It's called The Other Boys of Summer. And so before the game starts at about 3:30, we're going to open the gates early. We're going to show a little documentary on the video board talking about what the civil rights movement looked like, even going into how these baseball players during that time were able to work through all of the social changes that were going on within the city at that point in time. Not specifically Grand Rapids, but just all across the country. So a lot of these players are going to be talking about their experience playing with Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, all those big names when it comes to Negro League baseball. So that's going to be one component of the game. So coming in early to watch that. But then also we will be doing a bunch to honor different black businesses that will be coming in as well. We like to highlight those organizations as well, showing the goodness that they do within the community. And we also invite some of those Black Sox players to come back as well to throw out a first pitch, be honored for the work that they've done in the past. And so there will be a bunch of a pregame celebration, just remembering all of the good things they've done and what the future holds for black baseball as well within the city.
Well, I did do a little bit of a deep dive into this because it was fascinating, and as we all know now, I'm a baseball nut. The minor league team didn't ever make it to the big leagues here on the west side because we didn't have enough players. So we won't hold it against Ted for going to the east side and actually getting the Stars started. Like I said, but all of these things I had no idea that were happening, and I'm a baseball nut. What do you think, or what do you hope that people are going to walk away from after this?
Well, I think what our hope is, as we think about the Delta Project and our work serving young people in this community, is that we're bringing families together. And I think that when we think about families and we think about the time in which we live in this country, it's really difficult for most families to be able to have an opportunity just to simply come together and enjoy one another. So this is an opportunity to get some history, to get some information about local businesses, and most importantly, spend time together as a family. So our hope is that collectively and collaboration, that we are bridging families and making an opportunity to spend a night night, learning something and having a good time.
I tell you what, that's how you build community,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
how it happens. And, my mantra, I've said it before, never a bad day at the ballpark.
Yeah.
That's right.
Never, ever,
Yeah.
ever happens. So let's get the information to you so you can get there on the 9th. West Michigan Whitecaps Black Sox Appreciation Night, LMCU Ballpark. On the 9th, tickets $20.50, and a portion of that, as you heard, goes to the Delta Project and the great work that they do. You want to learn more about that great work? TheDeltaProject.co for more. Gentlemen, thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll be right back.